What's up, noobs? As you know, I don't think enough people talk about the vibe in games, and especially considering how important it is. It's the difference between silk and nylon, marble and plastic. It's the difference between taste and tacky. So, does Dragon's Dogma 2 pass the vibe check? There are a few different areas with different types of vibes and lighting, so let's break it into those locations. Starting with the forest, I think mostly the forests here are quite atmospheric. It's pretty dense, so you naturally get a lot of dappled sunlight and light streaks through the trees, which instantly creates a dreamy and magical vibe. And in areas where there isn't a dense forest, they've cleverly placed mysterious ruins or waterfalls, mountains, and cities as backdrops, making it so that you always have a stunning view. My only critique here is that you never really get to enjoy it because you're always getting attacked by some monster. But daytime, sunset, and sunrise looks really good in the forest, and nighttime is just pitch black. The starry sky looks nice and it looks cool when you sit around the fireplace, but I don't think that it's that pretty during the night. I know it's not the point and it's part of the gameplay, but solely critiquing the lighting and vibes, I think it's a bit too monotonous. I do appreciate the occasional glowing flower and beetle though, and the amazing elf architecture that is embedded in the mountains and trees in the Sacred Arbor is so gorgeous and ethereal, the forest definitely brings the vibes. Moving on to the desert, it has a very different look. While the forest gives me a mix of quaint, mysterious, and ethereal, the desert with its hot sun and unforgiving nature gives me more majestic and intense vibes. I love the warm lighting and the intensity of the colors. It's a nice contrast to the more subdued forest. And with the environment, with the high pillars and rock formations, you get some really cool light streaks here as well. I also found this small area near a waterfall that has butterflies, which I thought was super cute. Now, talking about the cities, I don't think they're as good as the other environments. Vernworth is supposed to be the main city and it feels extremely empty. I know that's technically not the lighting, but richness and location design does something with the atmosphere and the vibes of a place as much as lighting does. And Vernworth just feels very sparse, as if there's just been a huge plague there and there's just these people that survived. Other than that, I think the lighting is okay. It's not bad, but not anything special either. The city itself is also not that gorgeous. It's not like I'm looking around at the architecture or anything like I did in the Sacred Arbor. But Bakbatal I think is a little bit better. I love the hanging cloths in the markets because it creates these gorgeous light streaks, and I generally do really like the warm lighting. And look, I even got my rainy drizzle. And my favorite lighting in the whole game is here, and that is inside the palace. The soft dim lighting, highlighted by the huge teal fireplace and smaller, cozier fires surrounding it, creates a striking and beautiful scene. And catching glimpses of the outside world from within adds to the enchanting atmosphere, which is why I took a lot of pictures there in photo mode. The palace in Vernworth also has pretty cool lighting during the day when the light streaks come through the stained glass windows. Other than that, the interiors of houses and caves are pretty similar and just has this basic darkness with a soft, warm glow. The magical vibes of the rift are nice. I think the electric blue is a cool contrast to the rest of the game. You don't see much of that color elsewhere, and it really makes it stand out and makes it extra magical. Overall, the color grading in this game is very yellow and desaturated, and although it's not the prettiest grade, I feel like at least there is a style. In contrast to Baldur's Gate 3, which just looks like a super saturated kindergarten classroom, here they're at least going for a certain look and a vibe. Whether you like it or not is down to personal preference, but there seems to be an intent and an effort behind it. I do like it, but I think it would have been even better if they had different grading for different areas. I'm not sure how color grading works in games and if this is even possible, but say for instance, because the desert is so warm and rich in colors, it would have been nice if the forest was then a bit cooler instead of being so yellowish. I think because everything is very warm and desaturated throughout the game, all the areas feel a bit neutral when it comes to colors. Having some variety would make the different areas stand out and pop a bit more and give it that extra awe factor when playing. Especially in Vernworth, where it feels generally very grey because of all the grey buildings and stone pavements. But when we put it all together, does Dragon's Dogma 2 pass the vibe check? I would say yes. The amount of times I stopped to look around at beautiful landscapes, mysterious ruins, magical elven architecture, and the amount of times I stopped to take pictures in photo mode is really a testament to that. No, it's not particularly interesting or has that wow factor a lot of the time, but it has a certain recognizable style and it's somehow very cozy and calming, in contrast to the gameplay. But do you think Dragon's Dogma 2 looks beautiful or do you not vibe with it? Let me know in the comments. That's it. Vanoobie out.